Welcome to Small Business, Big Network, the podcast for small business owners who want big results from their networking. I'm Liz Drury, a freelance voiceover artist who knows that if you're not working, then networking could help. My guest on Small Business, Big Network today is Anton Oliver. Anton is a business coach and marketing expert. And in our interview, he talks about the value of networking, why the person hosting the networking meeting is important, and why your attitude that you go in with matters. If you're interested in Anton's Marketing Mastery course, which he mentions during the interview, I'll be sharing the link to that in the show notes. So, Anton, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
It's only a pleasure, Liz.
Anton, you are what I would call a marketing guru. I've learned a lot from you. So how are you using networking in terms of marketing your business?
Networking to me is it's an avenue where I can get in front of my target audience, people that need what I can give them to help them move their businesses forward. That's why I started doing networking events, because not only do you just been able to help people, but you also build up very good friendships and very good collaborations that is priceless in a long-term basis. But networking events to me is a fantastic avenue to basically bring my message across and to serve the people that I want to serve.
Now, I know you've worked with some really big companies, but who are you targeting at the moment? And who are you getting to through networking?
Well, through networking, the main thing is, in my experience and in my years of networking, is that people that go to networking events are people that build relationships because they want to grow their own business. You don't find your multi-million-pound companies on a networking event. And although I also serve the high-end clients, my main focus is on the small business owner, because the small businesses are the backbone of any country's economy, especially in the UK. And those are the people that need my help the most, but can't always afford the high-end coaching prices. So I turned around and I went and changed the way that I coach, utilizing networking events. And that is by offering a high-value product or program at affordable costings for small businesses, so they can afford to get the high-quality coaching and help and leadership that they need.
So how long have you been doing that, Anton?
I started with networking probably 20 years ago. I was fortunate enough to be a founder member of the Rochester BNI chapter in Kent. And that was my big introduction into networking. And I saw how that worked. And at that time of my life, I run a telecommunications business. And through networking, we increased our revenue in the first year that we were doing networking by 67%. So the networking there worked because of the fact that you meet people and you provide a service that they all need. At that time, it was telecommunications. And so I've left the networking because of where I was working at that time, which was mainly internationally. But for the last 7 years, I've come back into networking because I've relaunched my coaching profession, my coaching business, so that I can serve the people, that I focus on. It's easy to serve the high ticket client, but it is the lower end, the small business owner that's got the power and the strength that needs the help that I can provide them. And that's why I've been doing this for the last 7 years.
And how have you found it since so much networking has moved online? Has that made a big difference to you?
I love the online networking, and I'll tell you why. Most of my coaching I do online anyway. The fact of the matter is, the reason why I enjoy the online coaching and the online networking is the fact is that you can be more productive. You can be more personal. And when you do networking, online, it doesn't take up so much time of the day. Is before our unfortunate pandemic situation, I attended networking events, physically, and I found then that when you do an event in the morning, say from 9 till 10, you don't really get back into your office and in the flow of things until about 11:30, 12 o'clock. And that's what I like about the networking event. I can do a networking event for 3 hours, get massive value, finish the networking event, have a cup of coffee, and within 10 minutes, I'm back into my daily tasks of what I have to do that day. So I personally think that networking online, I think, is here to stay, because I think that is going to be our new norm. And I think that instead of looking at it as, well, we can't have face to face, look at it as a fact that we can be more productive. We can still get the same results. And I personally feel sometimes better results by doing the networking online. It depends how much effort you put into your networking as well. And it's much easier online than what it is on a face-to-face basis.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me about some of the different types of networking you go to, because I know I've met you at a couple of different things.
Well, the main thing is any networking event is as good as the host. The passion that the host bring across. And I've been to some networking events where it purely is just you go online and you spend maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours introducing yourself and listen to other people introducing themselves. And I found with some of them, there's not a lot of chat interaction in that because it is so fast going. But then you get networking events where your hosts actually turn around and say to you, right, this is what I want you to get out of this event. They give you instructions of what to follow. And, it is one of the key things in marketing as well. You've got to tell your audience, you've got to tell the people that you serve, you've got to tell them what to do. If I may mention, one specific networking event that I absolutely love is Talk Networking. And the reason for that is I consider my time as valuable. And when I go to a networking event and I spend 2 hours at a networking event, I want to walk away from there knowing that I've had some value for my time that I have give. Some networking events that I go to, after a while you think, what have I really gotten out of this so far? How has this moved the needle in my business, or even in my life? And that's why people get fed up with networking events, because they don't get the value. Unfortunately, there is a lot of networking events out there. And I think the best thing to do, if I can advise anybody on how do you choose the best networking event, is go and visit a lot of them and then make the choice on where do I actually get value and where do I feel I've got a better chance of growing my business and other people helping me to move the needle in my business and grow. That's what networking is all about, to help each other grow our businesses, to the next level.
Yeah. So what kind of mistakes do you see people making? Maybe they're just starting out in networking, or maybe they've been doing it for a while and they're not really doing it right. What mistakes do you see people making?
The mistakes that I think that I see people make, which is very unfortunate, is people that's new to networking have got the misconception that they're going to go to a networking event and they're going to walk away from there with 10, 20, 30 leads. That's the mistake that you make. If you go in with that type of attitude, you're not going to be very successful in networking. With networking, you have to be patient. People have to know who you are. And you don't do that just in one event. You don't do that. You can't give people comfort and convince them and make them, number one, trust you and believe in you in a 45 seconds or a 60-second elevator pitch. That's not what happens. And that's why I say, if you go to a networking event, build relationships, build collaborations, or just for the sake of getting to know people that is maybe in the same field as you, or that can bring value to your business. Ask them for a one-to-one. Don't ask for a one-to-one because you want to go and sell them something. Just go and ask them and just talk to them about how they find networking, how their business is, what is the struggles that they have. And then you leave it at that. I mean, to be honest with you, in Talk Networking, when I started there, what was so lovely is I knew I could bring value. But the main thing is, it took me 6 months in there before I actually built up a level of trust with my community within Talk Networking, where people know who I am, they trust me, they see what I can do, and that's when you start going further in your business.
Yeah.
You don't go in there and say, I've got this program or I've got this product, buy it from me, it's going to cost you 100 quid. Because people are not going to look at you very favorably. Coach people for free. Show them your product for free. Let them try it for free. Because if they like it, they're going to tell other people about it. And that's what networking is all about. Because that person that you speak to at that one networking event, they might be doing 10 other networking events that you don't know about. Yeah. And it has happened to me now where I get phone calls or emails from people that I've never met, but they were referred to me by someone that I met on a networking event. And that is the value of networking.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there as not somebody just to make money. Because, there's one thing that I believe in. The more people I can help to get what they want, the more that I will get what I want. But number one is first help other people. And the more people you're going to have, I promise anybody that goes to networking, if you do this, the more people you're going to have, the more it's going to come back to you and say, I think I need to have a one-to-one with you, or I think I need your advice on this. And that's how you build collaborations. That's how you build value within your networking community.
Yeah. It's never just about the people that are in the room, is it? It's always about the people that they know as well.
Absolutely. Facebook has done statistics where they say that everybody that you have in your friends list, they know 1.7 people that they can refer your services or your products or whatever to. And that's a very good statistic because I know people on the networking events that I attend that they attend 5, 6, 7 other networking events that I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm.
But they know exactly what it is that I do. So they can, when they're in another networking event, somebody come up with a problem, the first thing that they're going to think about is, you know what, this guy needs to speak to Anton, or this guy needs to speak to Paul, or Tom, or Sue, or Liz. That is the value of networking, is the reach that you can have without actually reaching out yourself.
Yeah.
And that is vital. But like I said, if you have a host that encourages you to do that, make one-to-ones, make appointments, get each other's emails, start talking. You're going to get a much better networking experience than just going to a networking and going have a silly breakfast.
So what would you say to people who go along to a networking meeting and find that there's 2 or 3 other people in the room who are from the same industry as them? I know some people don't like that. What would you have to say about that?
Well, this is what I can tell you my story and what I do. Every networking event that I go to, there's either a business coach or somebody specialized in marketing. You've got to look at it from this standpoint, is that if you go into a hospital, if you look at their surgical department, they've got hundreds of surgeons. But out of that 100 surgeons, you probably have 2 out of every 10 surgeons, or 5 out of every 10 that specializes in a specific field. So what I would say to somebody like that, don't worry about it. Don't be afraid of that. Don't think you have to fight for business. Here's what you do, is what I call you niche out. You basically look at it and say, okay, they in marketing, I'm in marketing. What do they do that I don't do? What do I do that they don't do? or I know they can't do, then what you do is you specialize in the field that you know you're the only fish in the pond. It's like, to give you an example, you go to a networking event and there's a lot of people that do marketing, they coaches and everything like that. I do marketing. I'm a business coach. I'm a business mentor, whatever you want to call me. But the one thing that I do know most people don't do is they do not do strategic marketing and positioning that creates cash flow results. I know. So that's my speciality. Can I help somebody on branding? Yes, I probably can, but it's not my speciality. It is like I'm a cardiovascular surgeon. If I'm in emergency and somebody just came in with a burst appendix, can I remove that appendix? Hell yes, I can, and I can save that life. But is it something that I'm going to do every day? No, it's not. My specialty is cardiovascular. My specialty in any business is strategic marketing and positioning to create cash flow results. Not any of the other marketing. If you want to look branding, yes, that is a leaf on the marketing tree. But that is what I would say to people. Don't fear. Don't worry about it. All you have to do is niche yourself out. Have a look at and say, okay, this is the ocean of people that does marketing, for argument's sake. What can I do in this pond that makes me one of the big fishes in a small pond? And when you've done that, you can sit in a networking event with confidence. I've had people from other coaching groups come to me and say to me, well, you know, Anton, I don't know how you do what you do because that's not what I do. And I would say to them exactly, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you do it because that's not my speciality. And that's what I would say to people. If you go to a networking event, don't worry if there's 5 other people in your industry. Niche yourself out and bring the value that you can bring.
And I think in some cases, it's also possible to collaborate with the people that are in the same field
Absolutely. As you. Absolutely. Without a doubt. To collaborate with people, you have to look at it at, okay, what can this person bring to my business? And what can I bring to their business? Another word that we have for that is joint venture or strategic partnerships. If I do a program on strategic marketing positioning, I know that I can take that strategic marketing and positioning concept and I can apply that to social media or digital marketing. So would that person that specialize in that, will they be a competitor of mine? No. Why? Because they specialize in something that I don't, and that is social media. But can they add my concept to theirs and bring more value to their clients? Yes, they can. Can I take their knowledge and add it to mine and show my clients, this is what you can do? Does that add more value? Hell yes, it does. So this is what people need to think about when they look at collaborations is how can we work together that I can take your product and make my product sexier, if you understand what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And how can I do it for your product? At the end of the day, your sales are going to go through the roof because I complement your product. My sales are going to go through it because I give my clients something that I can't give them. There's no competition. There's collaboration. And that is what people have to look further than just what is right in front of them. And that's what I do. When I go into a networking event and I sit and listen, I make notes on my pad of every single person in there that I think I can collaborate with. And then afterwards, I'll go and look at their websites and I will do my research. First question I ask myself is, how can you move the needle in my business and for my clients? And if I see there's a massive movement of the needle, that's when I pick the phone up and I phone them or I send them an email and say, I would like to book a one-to-one with you. But then my conversation is not about, I want to sell you my program, pay me $1,000 or anything like that. My conversation is, listen, I think that we can form a very good team. Your product 100% complements my product. This is how I work. Would you like to join me? And can I use your product and offer that to my clients? The chances that that person is going to say no is very slim, because you're not trying to take advantage of them. You're trying to enhance their business. You give them a better result. But at the same point, if they say, yeah, Anton, that's fantastic, I would say, well, do you think that my product will complement your business? I already know my product can, but I need to get the answer from them. But it's an answer I already know. That's why I asked the question. And they said, hell yes. So at the end of the day, you've got the two yeses. You've got two people that never knew each other. They are in a different field, but now they can come together and they can bring value to their clients, because that's the name of the game. And that's the power of networking events and collaborations.
Thank you, Anton. That's been very insightful. Just before you go, do you want to mention something about your marketing mastery course and who that's for?
Yes, thank you very much for that, Liz. I mean, the main thing is, as you well know, I used to coach high-end clients, which basically means if I take 10 businesses, I could probably only serve 2 or maybe 1 out of that 10. Last year, March, when we unfortunately was hit by this pandemic, I had an epiphany moment where I realized, hang on a second, I am doing small business owners a disservice by not providing them the knowledge and the systems that I've created that can help and move the needle in their business. The problem is 8 out of that 10 people can't afford the high-end ticket pricing. So I turned around and said, fine, I am going to change the concept of business coaching. I'm going to turn it on its head, and I did a complete paradigm shift. And I took my high-end coaching program and I rebuilt it, redesigned it. And that's when Marketing Mastery was born. And Marketing Mastery is a 6 weeks program every Friday for 2 hours. And I go very deep into what strategic marketing is all about. What is the fundamentals you have to have in your business? And the key thing is, this is a proven system. These are proven systems that was used by bigger companies like Walt Disney, Harley Davidson. So it's not something new. It's proven, but you need to know how to implement it. And I show people right down to the core bone, the 4 pillars that you need to implement in your business, and then build everything on that foundation. And you'll get not just results, you'll get immediate results that is consistent, because you only have to implement it once and it will work for you continuously. And I'm offering that out now to small business owners at a very, very, very affordable rate.
Lovely.
It will change you. It will definitely change your business, and it will transform your life.
Thank you, Anton. Well, I can say that I've been through your course, and it's definitely changed the way that I look at my marketing, so I can highly recommend it. So thank you for being my guest today, Anton, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you very much for your time, Liz. It was an honor and it was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to Small Business Big Network. If you found this podcast useful, please do rate, review and subscribe. And don't forget to share it with the rest of your network too.